Versilia, the beach part, the sea part, but inside that the country part, the hill and Modena as well, in every plate.
Welcome to Ciao Bella, hosted by me, Erica Firpo, a travel journalist based in Rome. Each episode of Ciao Bella, I sit down with Italy's creators, contemporary artists and artisans, designers, culinary experts, heritage brands, and innovative aesthetes, and more who are defining and redefining 21st century Italy. Pull up a chair and join in. Hey, Ciao Bella listeners. Right now, I am looking at the water. I'm in Forte dei Marmi, atop on the rooftop of the Il Principe Hotel, and I'm just enjoying this incredible Tuscan panorama. Right behind me are the mountains, across from me is the sea, and right in front of me is Valentino Cassanelli. How do you do?
Hi, very good.
Well, thank you for having me. Valentino, just so that everybody has a little bit of background, has incredible hair, first of all. You have really good hair. And he's a very, very creative chef. Not from Forte dei Marmi, but from Modena, and has a beautiful, it's a stellar, aside from being a Michelin star restaurant, it is a stellar, incredible restaurant called Lux Lucis. Welcome.
Thank you, welcome. It's a pleasure to be here with you. It's an incredible story behind me. I'm come originally from Modena, so just behind the mountain we have in the back. And I'm in here in Forte dei Marmi since 10 years. So the Lux Lucis is the celebration year of the Lux Lucis, so the 10th year.
Oh, it's the 10th anniversary of Lux Lucis.
Exactly. And that's why we do a special menu for that, for celebrate that. And what's my story behind this?
Well, what brought you from Modena? What made you cross the mountains and come to Forte dei Marmi? But actually, tell us a little bit about you as a chef, but your percorso, we can say, to getting here.
Well, I'm starting to cooking, so from when I was young, to watching my grandmothers as a family style. I'm Italian, so that's the percourse of my life is starting from the grandmother, obviously. Watching to make tortellini, to make lasagna, the ragu. That's my Sunday morning every day since when I was really young. I get in love for food, and then I did a catering school, and I was starting in a trattoria in Modena, and I'm looking for a more experience every day, more height for my standards. And I went to London when I was young at 18.
Oh.
In the beginning at 16 I done a stage in London for 3 months, and then when I was back I spending all the day to think when I will back to London. And at 18 I back to London. I went to Giorgio Locatelli, an important restaurant over there at Nobu, and influenced me in a more fusion way of the kitchen. And then I'm back to Italy, and I went to Milan, in a big city, different as my small town out of Modena. I stayed to Carlo Cracco for 3 years, and with him I spent a lot of time to see many restaurants around the world, and it gave me a lot of space to improve my creativity inside his restaurant. And then I moved to Venice for growing a restaurant, for open a restaurant in Venice.
Well, which restaurant was that?
It was called San Gal. It's a restaurant with a friends, Venetian friends. We opened it, and in the 2012. Carlo Cracco was here for the opening of the Principe Forte dei Marmi. He did the opening of the hotel, and he called me and he asked me, you want to come here for taking the food and beverage of the hotel and growing, because they don't don't want to do consultants, but
They want
the
presence.
proper chefs inside to get the charge of all the F&B. So I was 27. For me, it was really challenging because from a small restaurant to move in an international hotel, a five-star luxury. I never worked before in a hotel, so for me it was a challenging. And I say yes. I was really scared at the first because for me everything was new. I never done breakfast before. I never done snacks or a club sandwich before.
Because it wasn't simply coming here and taking over a restaurant. It was the entire food culture here,
Exactly,
correct?
exactly. So at the beginning, I start to understand all the story of five-star luxury hotel, and then in May of the 2012 we opened the Lux Lucis because the property needs a restaurant for an experience for external guests too, and to create something really personal. They didn't want a normal restaurant in a five-star luxury hotel. They want Lux Lucis. They want something different than the others, and that's why I went here. So we start from the Dalmazia.
Which is the beach club.
Exactly.
So one of the things, let me just quickly explain to everybody. I want everybody to imagine a flat, long strip, a flat, long coast, and on one side are all of these little beach clubs. Beautiful, beautiful, kind of rustic, but at the same time super pedicured, I guess. Beach clubs that run up and down, and the beach club for the Principe is called Dalmazia. Sorry about that. At this exact moment, obviously my husband chose to call me, and I'm just telling him, please don't call. So yes, it's a gorgeous strip with, on the left side or on the coastal side, tons and tons of beautiful, beautiful beach clubs, and then across the street is the hotel. And so you were at Dalmazia, you were saying?
Yeah, the Dalmazia is our osteria, we call it. It's like a more simple way to see the food. You are directly on the beach with the feet on the sand, so it's quite an easy way to see Mediterranean style of a restaurant. So that's our incredible beach club. It's still elegant, still smart, still quiet because it's the format of a Principe. So it's really exclusive too, but in the same way it's really formal.
Is the beach club only for the hotel guests?
Not only, so
Okay.
it's for hotel and then external. Then we have seasonal guests. They're getting the cabana. So
Maybe like un mese or...
un mese or a month or the full season. So
Nice.
it's nice because there's people from Forte dei Marmi, there's people from Tuscany, there's people from around the world. So
Right.
in the mixing is a great experience to live. It's totally different than another restaurant because in a beach club you have the guests coming in the morning, they see how the fish is coming today. It's obviously our standards is really high, so it's different, but at the same time it's really informal. It's more familiar than a restaurant.
I would say, like, when having lunch there yesterday, and actually it would be amazing to be here in the middle of July. It's very laid back gourmet. So it's a nice combination of both, because I mean what we had for lunch yesterday was incredible. I can only imagine being on my own with Dino and having lunch like right next to me as well. It would be great as well.
Yeah, that's our formula. So we still have the great material, so the great products with a view of my kitchen, obviously. So there's always a twist of my personal vision of the kitchen, but at the same time, simply fresh, and the approach have to be direct. That's the mission of the Dalmazia. It's an everyday restaurant. That's the coolest part of Dalmazia.
And it's the coolest everyday restaurant.
And then we have the Principe is in the restaurant. Obviously, we have an international menu with all the things you need in a five-star luxury. So from the breakfast to the all-day restaurant, and from the snacks, hamburger, pasta with the clams, vongole. So you can
Fundamental.
yeah, you can imagine to be here and you can have a comfort restaurant all the day. And then we have the Lux Lucis. Lux Lucis at the fourth floor, and our roof terrace is the more personal restaurant. It's fine dining, obviously, but the formula is Valentino Cassanelli, and his team is taking care of you. That's our formula.
And Lux Lucis means light of lights.
Exactly.
Luce della luce.
Exactly.
I'd love for, and I think, I was thinking about this last night, standing up here. From you, I want you to explain your philosophy and the significance of Lux Lucis. But light up the lights, I was thinking about that as standing up here. You're kind of this, almost like a beacon in the neighborhood, which is very much Lux Lucis.
Yeah, because when we thought to the name of the restaurant, Lux Lucis means exactly as you tell, luce della luce, light of the light. Light because you can the light give the life to the things. So for us is the territory, is the classicism, is the what we see. So the real part of the food of our restaurant, of everything. Of the light means in Latin means the creativity. So give the light to the things. So that's why we think to that name, luce della luce. So the light is the territory, is the real things. Of the light is the creativity part of making things, and is the philosophy of the kitchen. So we thought the best things was give to the name of the restaurant the same things of the kitchen as well. So the proposal, the meaning of why we are here and what we do. That's.
Let's talk a little bit. I'd love just to give a visual description of the space, and then how it actually relates to the cuisine, because this space, we're in almost a glass box, which I know the glass opens up in the summertime, but we're in this beautiful modern glass box with beautiful design piece furniture, Italian design, of course. I mean, I loved when you were describing the tables and the tablecloth, you kind of recycled what you were saying, 1990s B&B tables.
Yeah.
And then instead of covering them up with a tablecloth, you made these tablecloths that were like almost like bespoke men's dress shirts that fitted just on the top.
Exactly.
Beautiful.
Yeah, because in the beginning when we thought to put the texture of textile on the table was the comfort part of the guest, but give the sense of the restaurant, so the minimalism of the design, and give the space to the part of the table, of the dress of the table. So that's for us was important to give the space to everything, to the surrounding as well, to the view of the restaurant, and be concentrated to the plate and to the guest. Because when you come to our restaurant, what we think is you have to come and be happy of your experience. Someone come to Lux Lucis for the plate. Someone comes to the Lux Lucis for the whole experience. Someone comes for the Lux Lucis just for be in relationship with his guest. And the important thing is you have to be happy. You have to be comfort. So the dress of the table is for us important to feel comfort on the table, but at the same time, all the view of the restaurant have to be minimalist as the kitchen is, as our vision of the hospitality is.
Let's talk a little bit about this 10 years of Luxucious that I enjoyed last night.
Being 10 years in a hotel, in the restaurant of hotel is already a challenge because many chefs change a lot of place. For me, it's different because I'm at the Principe and I start the Luxucious as my home restaurant. As I feel here as mine place, with all the support obviously of Cristina Vascellari, the general manager, the CEO of Principe. This is for me really important. And after 10 years, what we thought with the brigade and all the team is to make a celebration menu. So we get one plate each year. We study. So we didn't change the main part, but we set it as the plate is in the 2022. So we took from the 2012 till the last year, the 10th plate we enjoyed more successful, and we re-elaborated and we put it together in a total tasting menu, as you can see, not just the story of a chef, not just the tasting menu of a year, but a story of a restaurant, of a place, of people, because inside a restaurant there's people behind, and in what we want to transmit in the menu is the people of the 10th year of Luxucious, obviously.
I would love to talk with you about the menu we had last night in more detail. One of the experiences that I had was that from even when we were just having drinks and you had the little tomato, the little pomodoro.
Yeah.
Not all of the dishes had the same kind of this rhythm. I mean, there was a rhythm throughout them all. But I mean, like the pomodoro kind of didn't explode in my mouth. It kind of dissolved, and then the flavor exploded in my mouth. And I noticed there was this kind of pattern going through all of the dishes. So, for example, the first one that we were just talking about, the risveglio a Livorno, I had the shrimp, and then behind it was that little tortellini, or was it a raviolo?
Yeah, we call it bottone because
like a little button.
It's like a button, and inside there's a cacciucco. Cacciucco is a typically soup of fish made in Livorno. In Viareggio as well they do it, so on all Versilia they do some cacciucco, but what we do in that is the typically recipe from Livorno, so more rich, strong, and we combine that with raw fish, so the raw purple prawns from the Tyrrhenian Sea, and the baby clams and the squids, all raw. So the combination is like if you go to the market in Livorno in the morning, you see the freshness of the fish, the strongness of the sapidity in the mouth, the salty part, and then the smell, the perfume of the cacciucco is boiling in the restaurant kitchen. So that's why we call it Buongiorno Livorno, because it's like a morning in the market of Livorno. The freshness of the fish, the raw fish taste, and then the powerful of the soup of the cacciucco.
It was, I could have eaten that bottone like a million times. I loved the entire, because it was like different stages of life when you're eating it. It was wonderful. I mean, all of it was delicious. And when we were talking at dinner last night, someone said, did you ever ask a chef, and I'm going to ask you, what it is that, how would you describe yourself? How would you describe Valentino? How would you describe Valentino Cassanelli as a chef to other people, or what your dishes? Like, what is there something that kind of signifies, or not stands out, but is Valentino Cassanelli? Now, sorry, I told you I wasn't gonna talk quickly, and I am, and I'm so sorry. Because the other thing that I wanted to bring up is in this menu, there's a lot, I mean, it's territorial. It's in this region, it's in this local area. And you're from Modena. So you're also bringing, and Modena is like the cradle of cuisine. It's got such a history and so many, I mean, for me, it's one of my favorite places to go and eat in Emilia-Romagna.
Sure.
So how are you bringing that, are you bringing that back in here?
Of course, Modena is my roots. So inside me, there's Modena. I'm trying to represent Tuscany and Forte dei Marmi because we are here, and I love the kitchen of the products of Tuscany and the Versilian part. But obviously, inside me, there's Modena. So what we try to represent in the Lux Lucis is myself and the brigade work. What we try to represent in the tasting menu, as you eat yesterday, is on the road. We call it on the road, and the new menu is called, the anniversary menu is called I'm on the road again, because I'm a fan, obviously, of the big generation. That's why the on the road menu, but the name. But because behind there's a story, and there is an ancient road called Via Vandelli. It's connecting Modena to the Versilia. To Versilia.
Oh.
It's origin is true, so it's not.
It's
fake.
a good.
It's a road. It's connecting from the mountain, the two regions. So over there we study a menu, describe the beautiful territory, the beautiful products we have here, since Modena to Versilia, and that's what we do every day on the plate. So try to represent Tuscany, Versilia, the beach part, the sea part, but inside that the country part, the hill, and Modena as well, in every plate. So that's for me really important to transmit. When I describe my kitchen, is writing on the menu as well. We call it a free expression of Italian cuisine. Free because a really important thing for me is to be free of mind, free of thinking. And what I try to transmit to the guy in the kitchen to the brigade is to still free, not follow the trends, and not follow the things is coming. Obviously, you have to be aware every day of the new things, or to be informed, to study, to growing every day. But at the same time, you have to be free of mind, to have the possibility to create something express. So that's why we call it free expression, because it is something of you is coming out. It's our kind of expression, the kitchen. Italian cuisine, because we are fans of it, we are really proud to represent this territory. So that's why we call it free expression of Italian cuisine.
Italian cuisine. I think one of the most free expressions was mare e monte. I love that, and I'm not even going to tell. I'm going to let you describe what that is, because that was a complete surprise for me, and delicious.
Oh, mare e monte is a pizza, and in a fine dining restaurant, obviously surprised that pizza is like a flag of Italian cuisine.
Yeah, it's such a good way to put it. I like that.
And when we did the celebration menu, we thought one plate each year. Mare e Monte is the year of the 2020. In 2020, during the COVID period, the first year, we thought to make an exclusive property. So the Principe was closed from external guests. So the Lux Lucis, we decided to bring it to the beach, and we did a pop-up at Dalmazia. During that year was something strange for us, because usually we are in the rooftop, we don't to do lunch. So it's totally different. It's really near. It's the same thinking from at the base, but it's totally different. So during that year we did a menu, and inside we put a pizza, because on the beach club we have the pizza oven, and we do pizzas as well with ancient grain. It's something particular, but is a pizza in the end. And what we thought is to make a pizza represent Lux Luce. So on the top we have an oyster with the calf brain butter, and
wait, let's slow down. You have an oyster
we have an oyster
and a butter made of calf brain, which I think just already takes me out of my head.
And for us the fatty part of the brain, the acidity we put inside, because we keep in a marination solution the brain for a day inside the yuzu, inside a broth made with grass and grain. So it's really tasty, the butter as well, and the acidity of the acid butter made it with the brain is something really uncomfortable. I don't know how to can explain. And on the oyster give the sapidity of the sea, and the pizza is feeling perfectly to make an uncomfort food really comfortable.
Oh my! I love oyster. I like butter. Never had calf brain butter, but I loved that. But I think what just brought it all together was that slightly salty, crunchy taste to the pizza. Like that it was. That's the word I'm looking for. Is last night when we were talking about you, you weren't there. You were in the kitchen. Umami. It's a really beautiful balance of flavor and experience, that texture for me. That's what I found really interesting about every single dish that I had with you, is that the texture was really considered with the pizza. Like the pizza for me, like that crunch, and then with the taste of the oyster and the butter, was just like it just had it was the right bite. You know when you have that like perfect bite? And especially because you're thinking like pizza with an oyster?
Yeah, when my cuisine is trying to get the taste in the middle of everything. In the same time, when we do a beautiful plate, the sheen of the plate, the design of the plate is studied in the function of how you eat. So it's never design just for design.
Right.
It's always, all the time, is a design for eating the plate in the right way. So have the balance, have the full body of the plate inside the mouth. So that's a sign of my kitchen. So we try to give all the taste of the Mediterranean umami. That's what we're talking about, because I'm a fan of the kitchen from all the world. So one of my patients is traveling, so I try to travel a lot and to do experience to bring in the kitchen as well, as a chef, as a man, obviously, because behind the chef there's always a man. In behind plates there's more men than chef, for sure in my plate. So when I do umami, I love Asian cuisine. So they are master of umami, obviously. Yeah. But inside there's many things in common. When we thought to the colatura di alici, for example, is perfectly umami as the tasty.
How do we describe colatura di alici in English?
When you put the anchovies under the salt,
yeah.
You have a waters.
It's like the extraction, right?
The extraction, exactly. the pushed extraction and the colatura di alice. So all that things in the south of Italy, in Cetara is the most famous, but in the south of Italy they made it a lot, and I use it a lot inside my plates. As the caper is another things totally umami. The parmesan from my country is umami, and there's many things you can use in Italy to give that taste so strong. And when you concentrate the flavors, it's coming out the true Mediterranean in Italian taste of that. That's really important for me. As the jus of Bazzone, the ham from Garfagnana, for example, you had it with the pigeon.
That was Viaggio sulla Vetta. Right?
Exactly. Okay. Because in Garfagnana is just behind us on the top of the mountains over there, and we have a wonderful ham. It's made in the more or less similar way of the Parma ham, so my original countryside ham, but you have a taste in the back, tasting like chestnut, tasting like the region is. So the important things I think is to represent the place where you are, no? As like the wines.
Well, I was wondering, could we ask Sokol to join us to talk a little bit about, is he available?
Yeah.
Because I thought that might be fun, because I think that's one of the things that we all noticed last night, was that the pairings, I mean, it was really a very, the pairings are not just great. They weren't just great wine and drink pairings. They were really complementary to everything that we had. In fact, I think, what was it? We had the kombucha, which I thought was delicious, but we had the umeboshi, which was, I guess, the umeshu.
Yeah.
And did we have that with the piccioni? Was that with the piccioni, or I'm just trying to figure out where? No.
No, the umeshu should be with the pizzas.
Oh, with the pizza. Okay.
Yeah.
Yes. And it was just like the right, because I love umeshu. I love prune. I love that taste. And it was a really nice, like travel voyage in your mouth from having that great bite. And then
the sweeter part, and then the acidity of the prawns is coming out. When we talk to Sokol about the menu and about the pairing, is always the same vision of an ingredients, because many times when you go in a fine dining restaurant, you find a great menu, a great pairing, but it's two way mostly of the time. What we think is, if you get a total experience, so the pairing with the menu, you have one straight line, because it's the same experience. So you couldn't do two experiences in the same time. You have to do one. So the pairing should be like an ingredient you add to the plate.
Right.
So all the time have to be the same way. So sometimes have to be, the plate needs maybe some acidity, or something smooth, or something getting out from the plate, or from in the middle of a plate. So when we to this kind of pairing, is all the time to mixing the same experience you need to do. So it's really important the work we do with the Sokol from the beginning to now, because there's confidence, there's we know each other, so he knows really well my kitchen, my style.
How long have you been working with him?
From the beginning, so from the 2012.
So you guys are like in the same mindset.
Exactly. When I talk to, I try to make understand a new plate as I feel, and he try to represent the pairing as he listen my explain. So it's not just a taste. So it's not just everything about the flavor of the plate,
right,
but it's like how the chefs or me, I want to transmit to the guest. So I explain the plate, I explain to him what I want to, the expectation of the plate to the guest, and he tried to represent it with the pairing. So that's why the food and wine pairing of the tasting menu is follow like one road and not two different percourse, two different way.
What I thought was really interesting with the pairing was that two things I thought were really interesting. When there was constantly a conversation about sapidity, about, I guess, that kind of natural. Hello. I think we're catching you off guard.
Hello.
Can you sit next to me?
Yeah.
Well, I'm gonna need to reach over. So we just I'm just changing a little bit this interview. We brought in Sokon all'improvviso at the last minute. Sorry about that, but it's not. Would you like to introduce yourself?
Hi, Erika. So it's a pleasure to be here with you. I'm Sokol. I'm the restaurant manager of the Principe Hotel and the Lux Lucis restaurant. So I'm here from 10 years, from the beginning. So when we start, and we actually work in team with Valentino from the beginning, and we are here to.
We were just talking about you. We were talking about the pairings and how Valentino was saying that it's not simply what goes well with this dish, but an interpretation of the emotions and the story behind the dishes. And I was just about to say two of the things that really struck with me last night when you were presenting everything was, one, you talked a lot about sapidity, so bringing it, which, this kind of, the saltiness maybe of the Mediterranean, or of this part of the Mediterranean. But the interesting thing was a lot of the different wines and drinks that we had were not from Italy.
Yeah, correct.
That was such a great surprise.
Yeah. So let's start from the Lux Lucis menu. So from the 10 years of Lux Lucis, and the concept is starting from the menu. So the chef make the menu, and then we are going to discuss together to understand much more about the concept of the Valentino's menu, what he liked to transmit with his dishes. Then we are going to work in the same concept and to create an experience. In this case, the Italian expression of kitchen of Valentino, and so we already would like to search the same things into the wine, but not to limitate it just in Italian wine, but we are looking to all over the world. So the right thing, the sapidity, because the sapidity we find it like a point of the menu who characterize the Italian menu, and I search all over the world to find wines that transmit the same concept, but they are not coming from Italy because it's too easy. Yeah.
You know what dish I really love, another dish that I really love the pairing, and I'm going to tell you guys a little secret because it really surprised me. I really love scoglio e bosco, the risotto. Now, the reason why it surprised me is because if you ask anybody in my family, from my nonni to my husband to my kids, do I like risotto? They will say, don't get her, don't ever, because like the last thing, I always find risotto, I don't know, I get really tired of it. Last night, I loved it. I loved how, again, we talked about it, it was that, I like to eat my risotto from the outside in. That's just how I eat. So it was like this nice voyage for me. I got outside, and then By the way, it was like a painting, your dish. And then I got to the tartufo, I think it was, and it was just, I mean, delicious flavors, great wine pairing. Can you tell us a little bit about that story?
Right.
So we already in every pairing we start with from the dish. So it's very important to understand which is the most point who Valentino love to evidenziare.
Highlight.
Yeah, to highlight in every dish. So it's a risotto. In Italy, risotto is going to be like in the end you are going to mantecato with butter, and so it's typical of every risotto you taste. So in this case, we focus the wine pairing to the butter tasty, which give it risotto more softness, more, and in that case I search a small winery, Philippe Bouzeron from Meursault, because Meursault is a village. It's very typical from his scent of buttery and softness. So we work in the same direction of the dish, but give it more minerality and cleanness in the end, because the Meursault wine are too beautiful, are too complexity. The softness, the buttery flavor, it's typical of them, and so we work in the same direction of the dish, and in the final I would love to have just freshness and cleanness.
It was a really lovely combination. I'd love for you to share with us a little insight on that dish.
Oh, the risotto is made.
And it doesn't have a year next to it. Is it this year?
Is the last year? So in the
Oh,
so it's 2021.
Okay.
So the last plate we introduced in the menu, and the risotto is with tom yum. So as I tell you before, I love traveling, so I love to bring
Thailand, right?
Exactly. I love to bring something I tried, and I've been comfortable with it. So we made a cream of tom yum, made it with basmati rice, with kefir lime, with lemongrass, ginger, garlic, chili, and we do a cream of it, and we bring to cooking the risotto with that kind of soup. So inside we have the carnaroli rice tasting, so really typical from Italy, al dente risotto, so really typical as a Italian risotto, but with the scent of a Thailand soup. So with all the things of the Thailand soup is the tom yum soup. So Thailand, Vietnam, Cambodia, so that's part of the world taste inside a typically Italian risotto. Outside we have sea urchin. We do a smoked sea urchin cream, and then the truffle. Truffle we do a puree of it, really tasty. Inside we put vermouth. We put anchovies, so we still have the Mediterranean umami inside. So we have 3 layers of taste, and when you mix it together, you have from all around the world to the typically Toscan side of the truffle. So in my kitchen, there's always a travel in every dish. The main part coming from Forte or from Versilian, or anyway from the roads of my story. So the main product is coming from here. Is traveling around the world as I do, and then back to the restaurant. So that's the important thing. So every plate of Lux Lucis is the main part, traveling and back to Lux Lucis.
So you're on the road again and then back home.
Yeah.
Well, ragazzi, it was so wonderful to speak with both of you. Valentino, Socon, it was delightful last night.
Thank you.
I think it would be so much fun for you guys to do Lux Lucis on the beach again. That's just my suggestion. And I think everybody should come and visit Forte di Marmi. How can we, I know you're on Instagram because I started following you, but I want you to tell everyone how we can follow you, what your Instagram profile is, what Lux Lucis is.
So I'm Valentino Cassanelli, so my profile is called as my name, so really simple. And Lux Lucis is Lux Lucis Ristorante. So you
All
can,
attaccato, all one
all
word.
together. Or Principe Forte dei Marmi, all together is the name of the hotel. So you can follow the hotel with the proper name. So Principe Forte dei Marmi. Sokol Draco is the name and surname. So
can we find you on Instagram too?
Yes.
Oh, you know, I have one little quick question for you. Okay, aside from the fact that the kitchen, so just so everybody knows, it's a completely open kitchen, and it's like watching an orchestra play. It's a beautiful ensemble of people, but it's like so open, you're completely exposed. And then behind the kitchen is your wine room of sorts, wine.
Yeah.
That was a lot of fun because it's got the, when you see it, it's like super impressionante. We see all these incredible bottles and etichette. At dinner, what I thought was amazing was that they were lesser known, but some of the most beautiful etichette I've ever seen, like the ones with the three women. I think that was the Hungarian one.
Yeah.
And then there was the one with the cow.
Okay, yeah.
I mean, just beautiful. Okay, so as I ramble,
Mare Neve.
Yeah.
Also beautiful.
that was every single one was gorgeous. I noticed that in my room, there's a wine bar.
Yeah.
Is that thanks to you?
So every room of the hotel have a wine cellar. So and we choose a small wine selection to put it in the room for our guests. So and we find something more international because our clients are international, and in this moment the selection of the wine cellar is more international style, but also they have the information to search about or to ask about the wine list in the room. So we make beautiful. Yeah.
Are you changing it every season or?
Actually, yeah. Every year we change.
Oh, nice.
We change some of them, not all, but some of them.
It was a really nice surprise yesterday when I saw that, and then when I came up and I saw this gorgeous wine room or wine, I don't know how to call it because I'm not a good design expert, but wine wall. And I was like, I really have to ask him that question. Well, what I'm going to do is I am going to share all of your information. My listeners can also, you'll be able to go to my website, Ciao Bella, and you will be able to find wonderful information on the hotel, on Valentino, on Lux Lucis. Thank you so much.
thank you.
Thank you very much, Erika.
Grazie.
Grazie.
Thanks for listening to this week's episode of Ciao Bella. If you'd like to know more about today's guest, please visit ciaobella.co and click on the podcast link, or go directly to ciaobella.co/podcast. Want more Italy? You can find all my episodes on iTunes and Spotify and Stitcher. When you have time, subscribe to iTunes and rate the podcast. What are you waiting for? And if you want to be part of the podcast, email me or DM me your Italy questions. To learn more about me and my work, go to my website, ericafirpo.com, and follow my Italy adventures on Instagram at ericafirpo. Ciao, Bella! And a very big thank you and hug to Massimiliano Yonta, the producers of Ciao Bella, who continue to make me sound and feel great.